This is Temu's #1 best-selling item in home storage and organization. It is a heavy-duty 5-tier metal shelf, and it costs only $29.88. And it's made by a company called Reibii. So I actually need one of these to put in my garage, and the price is pretty darn good. So I ordered it, it came in, and now let me tell you all about it.
All right, so I just brought this in and I'm getting everything taken out of the box and I'm going to get this built. But there's a couple things that I definitely want to point out. This right here, these are MDF boards for the shelving. If you look at the picture, it shows that the shelving is a much brighter color, like a light colored pine, but that's not what I got in this box. Instead, I got like a dark MDF board. And then here are some of these longer bracket pieces that are going to need to be assembled. And just the way that this feels, we'll see how it turns out in the end, but this is not very heavy. This is quite lightweight, so it doesn't have like that premium steel metal feel to it. So we'll see how that works out. And then everything else, just sort of feels the same way, like this coated metal. They also included a pair of gloves in the box, and you get this little hammer here, and then some other random little bits and pieces. I'm not too sure how that's all going to work together. The knife is mine, and then here are just some other little bits in there. And inside of these is just more of these lightweight metal pieces. And then the assembly instructions, unbranded, just comes right here, and I'll just go through these and set everything up. So first impressions, I'm a little bit apprehensive about how this is going to turn out, especially when I put my printers on it, but I may be surprised. It still could be quite sturdy, so we'll see how this works out.
I got the shelving unit all assembled, and it's not really complicated to put it together. I think the hardest part is just getting started and becoming familiar with the different parts and the different bars and where they go, and just basically making that first rectangle. And once you get that first layer down and you got all four corners sticking up, then you'll be able to say, all right, yeah, I get it. I see how this works. And then you'll be able to just start putting more and more levels onto the shelf. And the thing that I like about this the most is that it is easier to put together than some other shelving units that I've bought and used in the past. And I'm talking about these shelving units that you get off the shelf from a regular store. And those sometimes have like those little clips that you have to put them together, and then you put them like along the side of a metal bar, and it's like circular, and they're not supposed to snap together, but they're supposed to come together, and then you have to like push them down into these grooves. And sometimes they stay put, and sometimes one of them just kind of falls off. I never liked that. And I also didn't like when I would have to screw in the little feet and the threads were not properly threaded correctly, so that I could never actually finish the build because I'm trying to screw in the little knob and it won't go all the way in. I love the fact that this doesn't have any of that. The only thing that you need as far as tools go is the little hammer that they give you in order to just hammer down these parts into each other. And you can see these notches here that you simply insert them into the large part of the notch, and then you hammer it down until it goes into the smaller part and it locks that into place. And that is all you have to do to connect these. No extra smaller parts that if one of them messes up, then it borks the whole thing. So that's what I like about this the most. Now, I don't have this completely assembled as tall as it can go because I'm still trying to figure out exactly how I'm going to put things on here. Like I said, I wanted to use these primarily for my 3D printers, which I have 3 on here now. And then I also have some other printers that I'm probably going to put on top. So I wanted this space to kind of be open just so I can know what I'm working with. And then once I figure that out, I can just put all the other pieces on here. But so far in using this, as far as the stability goes, it's okay. I don't have it anchored to the wall and it's not bolted to the ground or anything like that. But I can still sway it a little bit when I try to move it. So it's not like rock solid is never going to move no matter how hard you push on it. It's not like that in my experience. This is just as sturdy as some of the other shelving units that I have here. Ones that I purchased from like Home Depot, and I think I have another unit from Reibii as well. And just some random other things I have around the house that you have to build up to get tall. They all rock a little bit when you try to rock them. But my whole thing was, if I put these printers, these high-speed printers on there and I'm printing something, is it going to make the whole thing seem like it's about to just fall over and things are getting shaken and falling down? And the answer is no. It was able to maintain a good stability even while printing fast. And that was just with these two printers on it. And I'd imagine that once I start loading this up with more things and it becomes more weighed down, then naturally it would not want to move as much because there's more weight attributed to it. And they say up to 2,000 pounds is what you can put on this thing. I'm not going to put anywhere near that, but it's still going to hold a decent amount of weight. So when I bought this on Temu, it was like $34. So I think it's really important to sort of temper your expectations and what you're going to be getting for $34. The things that you can buy off the shelf right now, the prices, of course, they just keep going up and up and up. And in my opinion, the quality of those shelving units has gone down since when I purchased mine back in like 2020. So now the value for your money is not as good as it used to be with some of those. But with this, I have to say that I am fine with this. I'm happy with this. I think that it does what it's supposed to do. It's handling the task that I wanted to do pretty well. And if you're just going to be using it for just putting some totes on it or just some random things that you don't want on the floor and you're just using this to hold them and you don't have to worry about any jerky reactions from a 3D printer moving everything back to front and left to right, then I think this is just going to be just fine for you because you're just going to put your stuff on there and it's just going to stay straight. It's not going to buckle or anything like that. And I think that for that reason, it does its job. And for $34, you can buy a couple of these and it goes up to 72 inches. And for the amount of money that you spend on two of these is pretty much what you'll be spending these days to buy one of these of a similar size and quality that most likely won't be all that much better and a little bit more complicated to put together. So for those reasons, I'm happy with this. I'm happy with this Reibii 72-inch 5-tier shelving unit. And you see that there's only 3 here, but I deliberately spaced them out pretty far apart because these printers need some good clearance in order to fit properly. And I didn't want it to get too tight. But yeah, you can adjust the shelving however you like, and you can get multiples and put them next to each other. And it'll be a good, cheap solution to having more storage in like your garage, like I have here. So yeah, if you're interested in this, I'll have a link down in the description where you can check it out. And it's the #1 bestseller right now in the category of shelving units. And I can see why. It's good value for money. So that's it for now. Thank you all so much for watching. Till next time, take care of yourselves, and I'll speak to you soon.